Good morning, everyone. My name is Lytle. I'll be hosting today's training, Thursday's training. What we're going to do today is we're going to create an open house flyer. So we discussed this last week, so we're going to go ahead and be able to create an open house flyer. I'll be able to show you also with the mobile device how you'll be able to use that with the open house presentation. So with this, we're going to launch a couple polls. So Marcy, if you can help me out, let's go ahead and launch our polls. Okay, so we're curious. Were you on this last Tuesday's coaching call? So okay, if you could all answer, so we'd be able to continue on. We want to get 75% of the votes. We're currently at 38, so let's go ahead and get voting, everyone. So if you go ahead and respond, that's good. Okay, let's go ahead and close out this poll, Marcy, and let's continue with our second one. So have you downloaded our mobile devices? This includes RateWatch as well as the mobile device for the viewer. We will walk through that process today. It looks like quite a few of you have it already downloaded. That's great. But we will walk through that process. So this way you're also familiar with what your client is going to be seeing as well. Okay, that's great. Let's go ahead and close out that poll, Marcy, and launch the next one. Okay, so let's go ahead. The next one. What would you like to see? We're developing our trainings, and our trainings are what you want to learn. Our training Thursdays, a little more advanced in our intro class on Friday, as well as our MC 101. This is just more off the cuff. So if there's some items that you want to see more of an understanding, please let us know. Also, open up the question area. If there's questions, specific areas in EDGE that you have questions or you might run into a little bit difficulty, let us know, because this is the items we want to be able to train on here and really be able to work it. So, okay, EDGE Live, that's great because everyone needs to know EDGE Live, so we're going to be doing that as well as covering some videos today. Most likely we won't be touching the reinvestment, but we did cover that last week. Okay, great. Marcy, go ahead and close out that poll. And do we have any more polls? I think that might be it. Okay, sounds like we're going to go ahead and, use video. Sorry, guys, got another poll. Have you used video? And this is, I'm quite amazed. On the Thursday call, a lot of people don't use video, and I'm actually quite surprised. So we'll be working with that today. It's easy. It took me a while. I wasn't a camera person, but I understand the video aspect. So let's go ahead and close that one out. Great. I think we're all done with our polling today. Thank you for participating. It's always one of those things that we want to be able to drive and understand future calls. So let me go ahead. I'm bringing up my camera. Let's see. Okay, hi everyone. I'm Lytle, and sorry for the scratchy voice. Dealing with colds out here. So what we're going to do, you'll see now on the screen, we're going to develop an open house flyer. And look at it. A lot of people email us and with questions on printing the open house and things like this. You got to remember, this isn't a typical open house flyer that realtors usually receive. This is more of a financial flyer. You're providing your loan options and your experience. It's not so much of advertising the house, but a combination of co-branding your realtor. You'll see in the lower right-hand corner Liz's information, as well your information be on the right-hand side. And once we get to the mobile, you'll see how having the mobile, like an iPad at the open house, instead of a hard PDF or a print copy, you'll be able to share it, and you'll be able to collect the borrower's information and be able to provide them a report. So definitely the mobile app is the way to go. So we'll review that as well. So I will put on this 3 products. We're going to do an FHA, a conventional VA. If you want to see specific product, please go ahead and put it in the question area because we'll develop that product on the open house because it is a learning piece, and I would like to put products that you want to learn. So let me know if there's any specific products. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into Edge. I'm going to turn off the camera. Again, I put on the camera so you can understand the value of video, and you need to put a video on all your reports. So with that said, let me close that down. And let's dive into Edge. So with that, what I have done first, I went and found a home. And I have it here. I was trying to find my focus point was making sure it was under the conforming loan limit. So I found a house out in Corona. It's a little less than $400,000. We have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and we also have an image. So with this, going back to our open house flyer, you can see that up in the upper right-hand corner, you have the image of the home, and then you'll have information right in the center, right above that asking price, to be able to put their address of the home, a label at the top. We also have a field where you could change asking price, selling price. You can put your label here as well. And then lastly, it's the property features on the right-hand side that I'll show you. So again, changing the mindset opposed to just a straight open house flyer, this is a financial flyer for the open house to be able to provide your information. So now let's go ahead and dive into Edge. I'm actually going to take this web page and I'm going to bring it over to my other screen so I'd be able to gather this information rather easily. So let me go ahead and move that over here. Just one moment. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's log into Edge. It's edge.mortgagecoach.com. And go ahead and put in your email address as well as the password. Whoops, let me take my cap lock off. And then with this, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a couple ways of how to start this process off. So those of you who are new to Edge, go ahead and raise your hand. Have you gone in there and created an open house flyer yet? If you haven't, great. I don't see any hands. Oh, I do now. Okay, great. If for some reason I'm going too fast, slow me down. But we'll be doing a lot of things with the open house. Also, for anyone who's new to Edge, we do have an introduction to Edge held every Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, while we go through a lot of just the basic details on creating a report. So if you want more information, that's a great way of starting to learn Edge and developing it. So when you log in Edge, you have your upper area here, your client-facing report. That's your total cost analysis as well as your rent versus own. At the lower area, this is your partner section. This is where we're going to work in today. This is the open house flyer as well as a seller buy down. And depending on time, I could show you that seller buy down. As rates are going to begin to rise, we'll start noticing more houses being on the for sale a little bit longer. And the seller buy down is a great tool to be able to work with your realtor to be able to show them, instead of decreasing the house price, how you would be able to pay points, buy down that rate. And you'll see it's a win-win situation for both the borrower as well as the seller. So that's a good tool to be able to have as well. So it's all, you can create both of them in one report, so I'll be able to show you that. So if you're starting out creating a new, an open house flyer, you would start with new partner. When you start with new partner, it opens up the screens to be able to start entering your information. What I'm going to do is start a new file, but I'm going to show you how to copy so you're not having to upload the image of the realtor, their contact information, and it will make you go through a lot quicker. So for brand new, you would start new partner, but for a copying purpose, I'm going to the View All button. This function works both, you'll see in the client area, as well as the partner section. And there's quite a bit of information you'll be able to see in this View All. Go ahead, click it. First, if you have information and you want to go ahead and narrow down your search, you'll be able to do so just by filling in this information and then press search. I'm going to leave it empty so you'll be able to see the full information that displays. You'll see that I have different realtors over here, and as soon as you expand it with that gray arrow, all my reports are now displayed below that. If I wanted to be able to add analysis, start brand new, which is what we're going to do, it's real easy. It copies contact information, and then it just starts you fresh with a report. Say you're doing a couple products always. Say it's always conventional FHA that you provide VA. What you could do is copy a previous analysis. It brings the whole report plus contact your products, and then you would just update it with the loan amount and things like that. So you do have an option to be able to copy a complete report or just do an analysis. Just one moment. Okay, so for our purpose, what I'm going to do is start with Add Analysis. So let's click on Add Analysis. And yes, I want to add one for Liz. And you'll see her contact information carried over. Now let's go to the contact. You'll see I have 2 jump outs. If we go to the info, you'll see I have all my realtor information for Liz already filled out. That carried over with the copy, as well as the image and her logo. So it's going to speed up that process of creating these flyers. And then if you develop product and feed templates, it'll even go quicker. Now what I want to do, just to help you experience Edge live, let me get the link, and I'm going to put it in the chat box. And the reason for this is you'll be able to start seeing how you'll be able to use Edge Live. You'll see the presentation being built as we talk. So what I did is hover my mouse over presentation and chose the preview jump out, and it brings me to my last screen. So let me generate the link. This is the link to the report. I'm copying it, and I'm placing it in the chat box. So if you click on that link, this is what you're going to see. So if I open up, I copied it in. Let's see. Let's get that link again. Copy. Paste. Okay, there we go. So you'll see with this link, there's no products. I have my disclosure information. But you'll notice there's nothing on this report at all. So if you've clicked on this report, this is what you're going to see. But you'll notice that you'll have the contact information at the base. And now we have to develop our products, property features, as well as the image and items like that. So let's go into Edge. I'll come back to this every so often to show you how it's being filled out. But click on the link. If you have 2 screens, put it on the other screen so you can see how the report's going to build. And that's exactly Edge Live. If you understand how it updates in the live time, you'll understand and get more comfortable when you're working with your borrowers and reaching out, discussing that using Edge Live. So now let's go to our partner, first screen, and let's fill out the information. So I already put in Liz's contact information, phone number and name, and then we're coming to our street address. So what we have here, let me go ahead. I'm doing a copy and a paste, quickest way of doing that. And I have a feeling I need new batteries in my keyboard. So just one moment. Okay, so it's on Ontario Avenue in Corona, California, and my zip 92882. If you're following along and creating an open house flyer, you can put any kind of information in here just so you're getting that hands-on experience. And then we're going to advance our screen. Anytime in Edge, when you move left or right, or how I move to different jump outs, that initiates your save. So always advance to a different screen before you exit. So now let's see our asking price. It is $399,900. So let's place that in there. And our square footage of the home is, just one moment, scrolling, 1594. It has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And if you want to capture that link, you could go ahead and do so. So let me go ahead and put my Zillow listing in here. And then now let's add our different features. So if we click on More Features, this is where you can add the features. So besides the ones that are automatically there, you also have 4 areas for custom features that you can put in your own labels. So with that, I want to indicate we have a large lot size, so I want to put, actually that's not quite large. So what we want to do is just go through it. It is a 2-car garage as a dining room. Excuse me with my voice is going. And then you just add areas. Say if you have certain school district, you could place that in there. Saddleback. So you could put things like that in there. If it's a specific school district, award-winning schools, if it's close to a certain amenity, or if they have any special kind of items for the home that they've done upgrades, this is where you'd be able to place those. So once you indicate all the items on the home, you can press OK, and you're finished with this screen, and we can move on. So now this is where you go ahead and upload your image. So let's go ahead. I downloaded that image earlier, so I'm going to press Browse, and I have my Corona house right here. So now I've uploaded the image. So now also people ask, why do you have image 2 and 3? Well, with that, if you have doing these open houses and the house might be up for more than that 1 week, you can always change up your pictures on that on the open house flyer. We will plan on having a carousel at some point in time where we'll rotate the images, but we also have it where if you use that seller buy down, you can have the open house flyer reflect one image, and then you can have the seller buy down reflect a second image. So wanted to point that out. So with the report, you can one file, you do 2 reports, so you can have 2 images. So now let's moving on. We're in our product. So working with the products here is just like working with your products in a total cost analysis or rent versus own, same function. So let's start with an FHA. So if we put in FHA, 3.5% down. With the titles, keep them short, under 12 characters, and you'll see if you hover your mouse, it will tell you that. If you're working with an API like Optimal Blue and your data is carrying down, those characters tend to be way over 12 at the labels. Please cut it down to 12 so that way everything will fit on your report. So now add a from product template. If you had a product template for an FHA, which I do, you could go ahead and select that template, and you'll see information defaulting down for you. There's other items like the upfront MI and your monthly MI as well default. So it's important to be able to build out your template so this way it gets you in and out rather fast. If you haven't built a template, don't worry. We'll go ahead and show you how you'll be able to save this as a template for future use. So with that template, if you didn't use a template, you do want to use the drop-down for FHA. This is for your upfront premium if you're doing a VA for the VA funding fee, USDA guarantee fee, or single premium. This will trigger the upfront field for you to be able to use. My down payment automatically calculated for my base loan amount, and let's go ahead and use a rate of 3.875. So now I want to point out in the upper right-hand corner, same with the TCA, you'll have your graph start being built. So as soon as I advance that screen, you can start seeing and comparing your different payments. Right now it's just showing the P&I. Actually our monthly mortgage cost is in there as well. But as you start building the monthly cost, this number will rise. So now with our fees, how we'll be able to do our fees. You can see that I have it grayed out right now. That's fine. I'll show you in a moment how you can go into the closing cost details. But if you want, you can always lump sum. If you want to provide an estimate, you know your APR costs are $1,800, you could just lump sum it, and that's fine. Same with non-APR costs. Prepaid escrows, you'll notice a number in here. That's because in my product template, I already have my monthly cost already filled in, so that's why that number's there. So again, once we get to our monthly cost screen, I'll show you those defaults and show you how to make that template. So let's click on closing cost details. And if you're on an enterprise account, you might have some fee templates built in, and they'll be in the drop-down right here. You'll notice I'm starting out, I already have my reserves, and that's because in my defaults, I have my monthly cost. So to add a template, all I have to do is go to my Apply from Template and pick one. So I'm going to go ahead and pick my conventional template here. You'll notice it pushed my monthly costs down, and then my fee template appears on top. So with that, you can go through, and I have all my fields filled out except for my lender and owner's costs. With sometimes if you have corporate fee templates, they might provide them to you, but you'll have some data that you might still have to fill out, something that's variable for your office or per state, like the stamp taxes. So you would want to come in and place in that number, and I'm just going to put in 1125 for now and for both. If you know a percentage amount, you can always place that in there and automatically calculate for you. If you know the calculation routine and need to know the percentage, like if it's X amount per 100,000 or 10,000, email us at support would be able to back into that percentage for you, and then you can use that in your fee template. Also, if you're on an enterprise account and want fee templates created, go ahead and email us at support, and we can assist you with that as well, let you know how that can be done. So with that, you can see how I have my appraisal credit fees. I'm not going to go through how to build fee templates. We do have a video tutorial. If we have time at the end, if you want to see that, please put it in the question area, and I'll devote some more time to fee templates. So I'm going to apply to loan, and now you'll see that the screen here is modified. It totaled my APR fees and non-APR fees, the contribution, which happens also to be seller costs, so that's why you see that amount. Upfront MIP automatically defaulted for me, and I'm adding it to loan amount. So if you develop those product templates, you can see how I don't have to touch my monthly cost. It's filled in for me. So all I had to do is open that percentage and put in that percentage amount as an estimate. So you could put in 0.25, 0.35, whatever it may be, and you can see how it calculates. The MI for FHA for insurance, you see I have the 0.85. That was part of my default for FHA. Calculate MI on balance. This provides the declining MI balance for USDA as well as FHA loans. And then I want to have the MI cutoff month at 360 because I need MI for the life of the loan. The 78%, you could keep it, you could delete it. It doesn't matter. It will never look at that again. So because we're taking MI for the life of the loan. I could describe this more for you when we get to the conventional product. And then you have your reserves. So if you want to show those reserves, put in the number of months for taxes as well as insurance and 12 months premium. So before we create our second product, let's save it as a template. This is allowing you to start building those product templates. You'll see that the label that you had used carries over, and then I'm going to press OK. You have your first product template built for an FHA. So we'll go in afterwards, show you where you can modify those templates in your settings account here. So now moving on, let's create our second product by just clicking on Add Another Product. So with that, let's create our conventional product. Conventional, 5% down. Not doing good today, huh? There's a couple ways of doing this. I've showed you how to use a product template on the first FHA product. Now instead, I want to show you how to use a copy from button. So what you're doing with your drop down, you can choose that as a template or copy from, and this is great when you're doing really similar products, and this way you'll be able to just change rates, whatever it may be. So I'm going to copy from my FHA. There's going to be a lot of modifications, but I want to show you how this function works. So if I press OK, Now you'll notice all my FHA information carried down. So I'm going to remove my upfront premium, say none, increase my down payment to 5, and place my interest rate at 4. So now I just took that FHA, and my first screen, I just made it conventional. You'll notice that I put the upfront premium as none. When we move to the next screen, you'll notice the upfront MIP field is gone. So it's been removed as well. With that copy from button, you're able to copy now all that data of your fees carried over. So if you're similar products and you have the same fee structure, again, that copy from button works really well. So what I'm going to do is go into my closing costs and say, because this was a, I think I used conventional on my FHA template. What you would want to do, if it is different, you can always come in here and just pull down the correct fee template, override your old one, update it with your items here, and that's as quick and easy to be able to copy from and modify your fees. Another thing you could do is if you know that the fee might be $475 on this product versus another product, you can update it directly here opposed to bringing down a fee template. And again, if you want to save a fee template, if you're on an enterprise account and they provide you a fee template that's just not fully complete for your there's a Save as Template button. So if you're on an individual or an enterprise account, you could develop those fee templates. Only you will see those. So Save as Template, you just name it. If you originate multiple states, you could go ahead and identify it there. So with that, let's go ahead and apply to loan, move to our monthly cost, and let's change that MI. So let's talk about that MI cutoff percentage as well. So I'm going to move this to reflect 0.79 for my MI, and I want it to cut off at 78% LTV. So I went ahead and put that in there. So I'm going to keep Calc MI on balance. I'm going to keep it unmarked because I do not want the declining balance of MI. And I'm removing that 360 because I do not want to carry MI for the life of the loan. If you have a policy and you know you have to carry a minimum of, say, 24 months of MI, you could go ahead and place it in here. On the 25th month, the system is saying, okay, now look at your LTV percentage. So that's how these two fields work in conjunction with each other. And then I have my escrowed amount. So now let's develop a VA product, and then we'll start working on the open house and the mobile. So with the VA, I'm just going to go ahead and put VA 0% down. And I'm going to use the copy from, and I'm going to copy from my FHA product. So you'll see now with the FHA, I'm going to change it to VA, change it to 0%, and increase my interest rate to 4. So that's, again, how quick and easy it is to use another product and just do an update. Move to our next screen. Let's go ahead and change our FHA to a 2.15 VA funding fee, and I'm adding it to loan amount. And now let's go ahead, and if for some reason your fees change, you could pick that new fee template or just make your modifications directly onto your fees right here. Advance our screen, and let's remove that mortgage insurance. And there's our VA. So you can see how the copy from feature as well as developing product templates, fee templates, is going to make you move rather quickly through and creating a report. I know for us, it took a little bit of time to defining it all, but it goes rather quickly as you start preparing these. Definitely, as you start getting familiar, you can whip these out in less than 5 minutes. So with that, okay, maybe 10 for an open house. You do have those images, so but it is rather quick. So with that, just quick analysis summary you could glance at. Now we're going to our contact because I already had it filled in. Just basic information for your realtor. upload your image. You can get it on their website as well as their logo. If for some reason they don't fit or they're not sticking, a lot of times there's large images that you might capture. Again, send an attachment, the image, to support. We can resize it for you. If you want to resize it yourself, just let us know. We also have instructions to do that. So we have that information, and now you'll come to the presentation screen and select Open House Flyer. You can see right above, if I wanted to create that seller buy down, I would change it and create that seller buy down. So for now, let's keep it on the Open House Flyer. If I didn't want to show that VA product, I would just unmark it and only the other two products will display. So let's move on and put in our title information. So just to show you real quick before we put this information, your title information in, let's check out that report. So you'll notice I have my 3 products. I have my asking price and my property address in the top center, as well as all Liz's information. You'll have the property features to the right, but this is a lot of times what people see. There's no image in that upper right-hand corner. And I also see a lot of times when we review the reports coming through support, the asking price is missing, as well as the title. So with that, let's show you how you could do those different options when in Edge. So this is that presentation title. So you could put any type of title that they might be describing this home. And I'm so not creative. So let's say beautiful. You could tell I'm horrible, huh? It's a beautiful home. You could put some kind of presentation title at the top. This is the asking price. If you want to put selling price in front of the dollar amount, that's great. Just put it here, and that's where you could do it. Notes area. This is the compliance piece. Payments included estimated hazard insurance, property tax, and mortgage insurance. Mine's grayed out because I'm on an enterprise account right now, and they placed that information for me, and I don't have to key it in. So if yours is open, you just want to put something like estimated taxes and insurance are included in your payment. Now as we move on, this is where people think they're done, but you have to select the image. So I'm selecting the image for my beautiful home and do it that way. You might have a couple just with the picture there. It's you might have a couple images. Choose the one that you want. So now next, you could go to the last screen. So with that, you have your presentation, and now we want to go ahead and put on your quote date. So with that, let's put on today's date. If you use this flyer over a month, if the home hasn't sold, if you update those rates, come back in and update your quote date. So always want to be able to have the valid date on there. And now let's go ahead and check out a report itself. See, now we have our image up here as well as our asking price, beautiful home, and then our address here. So now with that, we want to put on our video, and then I'm going to show you also how you'll be able to start working with the mobile app. So first off, let's go ahead and show you how to put on that video. So click on Generate Link. And you'll notice that you have Edge Live and audio. You'll have the same function in your total cost analysis as well. So go ahead and click on Add Video. And with this video, a lot of times with the open house flyers is you're working with the realtors. So it depends how you want to be able to, hi there again, how you'll be able to address your message. So if you're working with a brand new realtor, this way you would want to talk to them, provide them information about you, what you can offer your mutual clients. So with that, that's the first introduction. So this is a great way to work with new realtors, introduce yourself. And then you can always do a quick copy and create one for the open house. And this would be a message to the borrowers and telling them what you could do for them. And again, once we get to the mobile app, we'll be able to show you how you'll be able to share it rather easily. So let's go ahead with the device. You would just go ahead and press record, and you'll see that it says recording right up at the top. So this is time. Make sure you do eye contact. we do have scripting that you'll be able to use. Use the scripting. Make sure the back area, I have my blinds open. If you have a lot of brightness, that will also eat up some of the time. You have 5 minutes. You want to keep your message around minute, minute and a half, only because of attention spans. So again, if you're doing a longer one, make sure you look at your surroundings. So then you have your stop button. You have your play and a pause as well. If you're if you're recording, want to pause it, you have that as well. Want to remove it, just press that trash can. And if you don't want to do a video yet, you do have audio, but it's really important to do that video. And the couple tips that when I first started using it is I took a sticky and put it in front of the camera so it would get a little bit more comfortable. And as you start working with the video, again, just look at the video and not yourself, and it works out a lot better. Okay, so with that, now let's move over and let's bring up the mobile. So with that, let me bring up my, just one moment, bringing up my app. And if you already have, let's see, just one moment. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's bring it on over. So here's our app. So for those of you who haven't downloaded the app yet, all you have to do is go to your app store. So you'll see I'm on an iPad, so I'm going to the app store, and then you'll see in the upper corner in your search. I just searched for Mortgage Coach. And when you search for Mortgage Coach, you get both of the apps. You have the Rate Watch app, so if you haven't downloaded it, download it now. This is the same login and password as your Edge account. And then also open the app for Mortgage Coach and download that. So I'm going to go ahead from here and just open up my Mortgage Coach app. And when a borrower clicks on the link and they won't have the app, it takes them directly to the App Store to download this app. So once they've done that, then they come and click on the link, and it will go ahead and display here. So what I want to do is, for now, let's make it a little bit smaller. And I'm going to put in my link. So if you have it here and it was in an email, they would just click on that link. What I'm going to do is just put in that number ID. So you can see I went ahead and erased the number. So I'm placing in one. If you're doing it, following along with me as well, what you can do if you don't have anything in there, you can start with just the number. You see how I cleared it out. So I'm putting 16, lowercase r, k, j, I. And then I'm going to hit the arrow here. And I just placed the video on there. It hasn't converted yet to carry over to the iPad, but it will shortly. But you can see how with this, the disclosure carries, so the borrower and realtor have to press I understand. So this is the start of the iPad, and what I'm going to do is switch over to our report. So we'll have both of them up at the same time. So you can see how now my video is ready if I wanted to be able to go and view that and listen to that as well. So with that, you have two options. You have the hard copy, and then you also have the mobile. With the mobile, the one thing I do want to point out is if you have a mobile device at the open house, look in the upper right-hand corner. It's the Share Report. If you click on Share Report, it's rather easy to email this exact report with your message, your video message, to your borrower, to potential clients, as well as sending it as a text. So you have both options to do that. So this is a much easier, better way to be able to capture the borrower's information than handing them a PDF, or a hard copy, a print copy. So another reason to use the mobile, it's a great way of sharing, getting their information, as well as the fact that at this point they would always have that until they delete it, as opposed to misplacing a piece of paper. So let's go check out bring this down a little bit. So with our different reports, you do have our FHA, And if you're working with the realtor, you could see how when I'm working this, it's driving the report as well. So you can see when you highlight the different items, they'll be able to see it. We also have our payment stream details. It's a button down at the base here. And be able to provide that information. You'll notice, whoops, there it goes. Oh no, my video. So go back into Beautiful Home. My reflector just, there it goes. Up here, just want to point out they can access disclosure, but they also have a quick way of accessing the graph. So they'll be able to see that as well. Move back to the front. They have property features right here. So if you click on property features, they'll be able to see that information. So again, you can print this out as a PDF, but you should always have it as a mobile. And it's always the share report. It's on the TCA as well. It's great to be able to develop a generic one. Oh, okay, Brittany. Always have a generic, like comparison for MI report on your device, because it's so easy to share the report. It would have a video introducing yourself and be able to provide that information. So if there's any other questions on the mobile, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and place it off to the side for now. Brittany had a question, how did I highlight? So Brittany, this is how you highlight. Individually, on individual cells, I just highlight that field, left click. It's that simple. Left click again, it removes it. If I do the title, it will highlight the whole thing. Bottom, there's a clear all button. It clears out my highlight. So now say you have a realtor on the phone and they happen to have the open house flyer up, and you're on the phone and you want to talk to them about it. That's what Edge Live does. So what I'm going to do, take a note over in the bottom right-hand corner is your share button. A share button is a really quick way of getting that link on that desktop. If you email us at support with questions on a report, go ahead and press share and give us that link, because that way we can actually view the report itself. So let me show you Edge Live. So I'm going to go ahead and place my link in here, press return, and I'm going to place them side by side so you can see what Edge Live, and this is a great way to also work it with your borrowers on the TCA. So you can see that on the right-hand side, I have the disclosure, so I'm pressing I understand. So there's the video, just a moment. Okay, so now on the right-hand and left-hand side, the difference that you'll see is one item, is the clear all button at the very bottom, left-hand side. It's not on the right. And what the clear all button will do for you is to clear out all the highlights at once. So you can see how it removes it. If the realtor is following along with you, you could point out the FHA product and talk to them. And you'll see on the right-hand side, it's mimicking exactly what you're doing. So this is Edge Live, how you'll be able to reach out and show how you'll be able to do the same type of process with the borrower on a TCA. Again, you're reaching out to that client and really providing education about the different loan products. But by doing that, you're also speeding up your commitment, because you're answering so many questions with the Edge Live. And the easiest way, if you don't have a work person you could share the link with, work it just to describe it, get familiar with it. Maybe a friend, a spouse, someone even mentioned, you know, if you would be able to understand Edge Live and work it with your mom, you could work it with anyone. So again, Edge Live, just highlighting different fields. Also want to let you know, if there's items before you send the report that you want highlighted, like cash to close, you can highlight it before you send to the report. When they open it up, those highlights will be there. So now we have that. So what time is it? 45. So let's go ahead. I'm going to focus on showing you where the seller buy down comes into play. So if I go back to Edge and I'm pressing close, and if you have any questions on the open house flyer, please let me know and we could go ahead and review that. But now what I want to do is show you how you could take this flyer and change it to a seller buy down. So I'm hovering my mouse over presentation and choosing select report. So now you'll see I'm going to change it to a seller buy down. Now you'll notice one product is selected. I'm actually going to play with the conventional product. So with that, as I advance my screen, I have one more product, or one more screen. So you'll be able to put in how much is the amount of the credit. So I'm just going to go ahead and put in 10,000 for right now. So say traditional rate, I know this would be a lot less money. Let's say it would go ahead and put a bump of 0.5. And then the percentage of income to qualify, say, was 42. So once you fill out this information, this is, you also have your titles, just like on the other ones. Now let's check out the presentation itself. So it's slightly different, and it's an interesting, I just think it's fascinating to work with this report. We've actually had low rates for quite some time. So you'll notice there's no image. Let's put the image back in. So select presentation, select report, advance my screen, and one more time, and let's select that image one more time. There we go. So this is how you could put in another picture if you wanted to. So now let's check out our report, and our image is going to go ahead and display shortly. So what is this seller buy down? So you have your conventional product here, and if you want to follow along, I'll go ahead and share that link with you. And you'll notice that these links for an open house flyer and a seller buy down are two different links, they're different IDs. So you'll be able to have two reports with one product. So now with my conventional product, you'll see that I have a 5% interest rate, or 5% down payment, and you'll see my interest rate is at 4%. I have a sales price of $399. Now, what is my next one is my price reduction. I only put that this, say they want to reduce, I had the $10,000 and they have the 4% rate. So if they had to reduce the house, this is what their loss and their payment. Then you have the rate reduction. You'll notice now that there's 3.5% as my rate, and it's the full loan amount. So the same amount initially, just with the bought down rate. And then we have our price versus rate. So if I kept it at the 4%, what I would have to do is drop that sales price down to that amount of money to be able to get that same payment as I had with that lower price. So let's clear that out. So we wanted to be able to show the same payment with that lower interest rate, original sales price. We backed into it, and we have the 4%. I wanted the P&I payment. I would have to drop that sales price to $376 instead of being able to reduce it just by that $10,000 to buy down that point. I know this is a little complicated, and rates right now are just, still a little low, but I want to show what we have out there. This is a great tool for a realtor to be able to offer the seller an option. Don't reduce your price limit. Let's be able to provide a rate buy down. Everyone wins. The borrower wins. The seller wins. You and the realtor win. So it's a great report to be able to produce as well. So remember, we do have a seller buy down as rates start turning, and we'll be able to have that. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Is there any particular item that you want to be able to see in Edge before I start working on other items? So this is a good time if you want me to discuss fee templates, develop Edge Live more with the TCA. I could do that as well. Just let me know. Otherwise, I'll just keep working it. Okay, I don't have any options. So what I want to do next is, yes, Brittany, the seller buy down part, let's show you that first. So what I'm going to do is go click on Help in, in the section here. It brings you to our knowledge base. And in our knowledge base, we have a search engine. So you can easily look for different video tutorials right here. But if you type in seller buy down, and press search. And you'll see creating a seller buy down. So this is a quick way of doing that, a great video tutorial. We also have this call is going to be is recorded, and we host those in our coaching call archive. So if you click on that, it will be added to April's calls here. We also have Mitch Kiter. If you weren't on that call on Tuesday, you'd be able to view it here as well as our different coaching calls. Okay, so now let's go into our settings. So in our settings, we have our contact information. Make sure your information is correct here. You'll notice, again, I'm on a site license. I have areas grayed out. If you need modifications in those, just contact us at support@Mortgage Coach. We'll modify it, or your administrator. Image. This is where you upload your image. We get a lot of reports coming over without that picture of the loan officer. Make sure you put in that image, as well as the logo. Product templates and fee templates. So this is where these are developed, where you could save them. We went ahead and created this one today when I saved a template. This is how I modify it. So with it, I go ahead and I remove my interest rate, because the interest rates change, and I don't want to accidentally keep an old interest rate. Moving down, you'll see that my reserves, my 12-month premium, my upfront MI, all defaulted for me. You'll notice my fees did too. So it depends how you want to do it. If you work in multiple states, you go ahead and click on closing cost details. Okay, that's a good one. Yes, Bill, just one moment. So this is how you can modify your fee templates, or if I didn't want it connected to my product template, I would just remove these fee templates by the trash can and leave an empty fee template. So it's up to you how you want to be able to do it. But you can see how everything, once you develop these templates, how quick it will be. And I do have a question from Bill, and he's asking about reviewing an open house flyer with a customer, and then a customer would like to see a TCA. You would have to start a new file, but let me show you how a quick and easy way of doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Home, and there is no way, Chris is mentioning when I click on Copy From, the choice in the drop-down box is very small and hard to read. Email us at support. I have a feeling that's something more with your screen settings than it is with Edge. But email us and we can take a look into it. So we just created that report for Liz here. So if I double-click on Liz, I want to go to my product. So the first thing I want to do is create an exact product for my TCA. So if I go to FHA, I want to go to the last screen, and I don't want to modify my template there. I want to just create a new one, and it's quite easy. I'm going to name this Open House Flyer 1 and press OK. Now I want to do the same thing for option number 2 and then 3 as well. And by doing this, it will be able to keep the exact same product and copy it into your TCA. So this way you're not doing dual work, because we don't want to do that. So let's get to our third product. Press OK. So to show you, I just created those 3 product templates. So if I go into my settings, you'll notice I have those 3 templates right here. So after you're done with them, you can always click on it and press that delete and remove them if you choose to. Pressing on Home. So now I'm just going to start a new client. I'm going to start a new TCA. And because of our timing, you'll really see how quick it could go. So with this, you can either have it directly with a person if they wanted it as an individual, or you could change it to marketing, and you could put on the address. Let me find it real quick. Like home. Okay, so you could put like the address. For time's sake, I don't want to look it up for right now. You could place it in here. It's always on a friendly name field. Always place the street name if it's connected to an open house flyer. Same on an open house flyer in the friendly name field because of that copy. Always place that street address in there so you know exactly what report goes with that open house. So now to move on, I'm going to mark it as a purchase a home. Put in that dollar amount. Whoops, it's $399, $900. Keep moving on, not filling out any of those other screens, just going to my products. So it was a 3.5% down. And what I want to use now is my product template. So I go into my product template. Whoa, do I have a lot? Open House Flyer 1. And you'll see it carried down all my data from the open house flyer, as well as all my fees and my monthly cost. So that's how quick, and that also helps you understand templates and the importance of them. So let's create our conventional real quick. And use my template. It's my second product. Oops, I forgot to put in the $350. Whoops, $399. All the information carried over. My fees carried over. I also didn't point out prepaid interest. I usually put in 15 is usually what I see. Some people put in 5 if they know it's going to be closing within that time period. Points field, you can also, if you have a rebate, you can put in that negative percentage, be able to have that dollar amount, or you can use it as points as well. So you have that field. And all the monthly costs carried over. And now let's create our third product and we'll be done. So let's put in, it was a VA, 0 down. And let's put in the loan amount first, $399, $900. Use my template, OH3, all my data carried over, my VA funding fee, no monthly MI. So quick way of creating it, you'll see our analysis screen. Now let's check out our presentation. I'm hovering over preview, or presentation, clicking on preview. Put on the quote date. Again, if you modify those rates, always update that quote date. And let's check out the report. So now you have your TCA. Let's disconnect, come on. You have your TCA as well as the open house flyer. So, and a seller buy down. So technically you can have 3 reports basically on that same property. So you can see how you could provide the TCA and the open house flyer, and it would have that same information. So that's a quick way of doing it, Bill. And let's see the question. Yes, so to do it quickly, wherever you start first. So if you started a TCA for some reason for an open house, use those products, save it as a template, use it with the open house. But usually you're in the open house, always save them as something to be able to use on your TCA. And you can see how it duplicates it, how it complements it. So if you're doing the open house, definitely have your open house flyer, your financial information, have a TCA handy, and definitely send both of these to your realtors so they could see how you'd be able to talk to the client and reach out with Edge Live. And this is the beauty with Edge Live, is really with that borrower to be able to define that information and answer any kind of question. So let's just do a little bit of Edge Live with this. And I'm putting it in the chat box as well. The other thing with these links, or with the process, if you click, if your borrower clicks on the link, the way you'll know they're on the report with you is in that lower left-hand corner, you'll see 0 viewers. As people, as they start viewing the loan and clicking on that link, that's how you're going to see people joining. The number's going to change, and you can confirm that the borrower is following along and has the report open. I'm going to press Clear All. You see how it clears out both mine and the borrower's copy. And now you could just talk to them different loan amounts, interest rates, and you can see how it follows along. And if I also have my mobile app up, I'd be driving the mobile app as well and showing them the different options, what their cash to close is. You could discuss that with them. You could go into the more info button, and it opens for the borrower as well. So this is the beauty of Edge Live. For all those who haven't done it, this should be your homework. Find someone, create a report, and start working with the Edge Live, because this is going to save you so much time in the end if you're able to really reach out and talk to that borrower. Yes, mom, dad, and anyone can do it online and with it. And what's great is, let me go ahead and close this out. That's the fact with one viewer. You can find out how many people. It's great. I've gotten up to 35 people, but it's unlimited of having many people to be able to be on it. But definitely pull anyone who can and just work with Edge Live. And the graphs bounce as well. So if you want to talk about how much monthly payment savings, 170 on that VA, you'll be able to highlight it and then talk about the conventional product and how much they're saving. And you'll notice there's no graph on the FHA. It's because it's the highest cost. So then short-term savings. What is the short-term savings? You could sit there and talk to them first. What is the savings here? Highest cost, FHA again. More info. So if we click on the more info, what we're talking about is the savings of unrecoverable costs, not monthly payment savings. So with that, you'll be able to have your interest in MI plus your closing costs, and you get a total cost of the loan. Those are the total unrecoverable costs. So now with the comparison, you can find the true higher savings, which is that VA loan over that 60-month period. Also, say that they plan on moving in 4 years. It's a VA, and he knows he's going to be, as a veteran, he's going to be moving. You know, you're having that conversation at Edge Live. So what you could do is, as you start developing their goals, modify the information. Okay, you're leaving, might be moving in 4 years instead. I changed the 60 months to 48 in the analysis screen. Always advance the screen, because if you don't, that triggers the save. So you always want to do it. And Bill, regarding the video, will they all hear the Edge Live video? When the video itself comes up and plays, it's only they'll be able to trigger it. They have to trigger on their end, whoever's watching the report. If you did open up the video like I had with recording, because you'll be on the phone, they'll be able to hear you and see you. Audio itself, they'll be able to hear. If you're trying to think of using Edge Live and then being able to hear you through that video, they won't be able to do it. The video is a static item, so you record it, and that's it. And also to let you all know is we're coming out with an option where you can have one, if you record a really good marketing type of video or just a generic video, we're getting to be able to upload just a specific video. So instead of having to record each time. So that is coming down the line too. Okay, so you see the 48 months changed. Also with that, if they wanted to see different down payments, say on the conventional product, if I went in, I'm under products, I'm choosing conventional, I'm changing it to 10% down. Let's change my title just to be consistent, advance my screen, and now you'll see that it will go ahead and update. You'll notice the left has updated with 10% as well as the right. You can add and remove products as well. And again, any conversation you're having with that borrower at the time with Edge Live, you could just go into Edge and make those changes. And again, educate the borrower and speed up that commitment time. Yeah, it is, that video piece. We've been having that request for a long time, so a little while. So it'll be great to be able to have that in there so everyone will be able to make it easier for that video. Okay, we're at the top of the hour. We actually have gone over. So with that, we're going to wrap up today's call. If you need any support, please contact us at support@mortgagecoach.com. We'll be happy to assist you. I'm going to stay on the line for a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, go ahead and let us know. And thank you, Mark, and thank you for that encouragement all the way through. We'll talk to y'all soon, and let us know what you want to see on next Thursday's call. Is it a loan scenario? Do you want to see the widgets? Things like that. Let us know, and we'll develop the call around that. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day.